Hey guys, and welcome back to Hebrew Daily Course. Today we're going to start a new series, Everyday Hebrew Conversations. And today we'll look at Lesson 1, which is Greetings and Introductions. So let's go ahead and get started and hopefully learn some new words that are going to be good to put into practice for your everyday life. Today we're going to ask and answer how are you to a male and a female. We'll learn how to ask and give someone's name. We'll learn how to ask and say where you're from. And then we'll look at how to greet, how to introduce yourself, and then say goodbye. So we've got some good things here to learn. Uh, to do that, we're going to take a look at a dialogue between Dan and Noah. So at the top is Dan. You have the Hebrew on the right. You have the transliteration on the top left, and then underneath it is the English translation. So let's go and start with Dan. He says shalom, which means hello. So Noah responds with shalom, ma shlomcha. Hello, how are you? We see ma shlomcha as how are you to a man. And then Dan responds, ani beseder, toda, uma shlomech. So I'm fine, ani beseder, I'm fine. Toda, thank you, or thanks. Uma shlomech. So, and how are you to Noah? So we see the two ways of asking how are you. Ma shlomcha, ma shlomech. Ma shlomcha to a man, ma shlomech to a female. So Noah responds, Gam ani beseder. So I'm fine too. Ma shimcha. And this is where Noah asks Dan what his name is. Ma shimcha. Dan responds, we see how to say my name is for either a male or a female, so there's no difference. Shmi Dan. So my name is Dan. Uma shmech. So we see how to say what's your name for a female. Ma shmech. So ma shimcha for male. Ma shmech for female. Let's get part 2. So Noah responds, Shmi Noah. So notice how Dan and Noah both said Shmi. So you can say Shmi. And this is, of course, for formal. There's an informal way to say that, but we're just looking at the formal way. She says, Naim me'od, or nice to meet you. So there's a good phrase to learn there, Naim me'od. Dan says, Naim me'od, nice to meet you. Me'efo at. And he asks her, where are you from? Me'efo at. So that's how you say it to a female. Me'efo at. The you is a pronoun. It's feminine and then singular. So speaking to Noah. So Noah responds, Animi Tel Aviv. So I'm from Tel Aviv. So that's the phrase for how to say I'm from. Animi. That's going to be your typical phrase. Sometimes it may be anime, but the typical way is animi. And you just say the city where you're from, or country, or wherever you like to put. And then she asked Dan, Me'efo ata. So me'efo at, me'efo ata. Me'efo ata is to a male, me'efo at is to a female. And then Dan responds, Amimi Yerushalayim. So I'm from Jerusalem. Tov, lehitraot. So he says, good or okay. See you later. Lehitraot is to see you later. So she responds, lehitraot, Dan. See you later, Dan. Yom Tov. And one of my favorite expressions, Yom Tov, have a good day. So that brings us to the end of our dialogue. Take a quick look at the key vocabulary. Shalom is hello, goodbye, or peace. Saying how are you. First to a male, ma shomcha, and to a female, ma shomech. Beseder is fine or okay. So ani beseder, I'm fine, I'm okay. Toda is thank you. Ma shimcha or ma shmech. So ma shimcha, what's your name to a male? Ma shmech, what's your name for a female? Shmi, my name is, good for a male or female. Na'im me'od, nice to meet you. Me'efo ata or me'efo at, where are you from? To either a male or female. Me'efo ata would be to a male. Me'efo at is to a female. And then you remember to reply, you would say Animi Tel Aviv, Animi Yerushalayim. And then Lehitraot is see you later. And then one more, I'll just throw it in here, Yom Tov, have a good day. That's a good expression to have in your tool bag. Just a quick grammar spotlight. Just like we've learned, is different for speaking to a male versus a woman. So to a man, which would be you, or ata, so ata is the pronoun there, and at is the pronoun for woman, so you. So asking how are you, מה שלומך? What's your name, מה שמך? Notice the cha sound on the end. That indicates that you're talking to a male, singular. מה שלומך? How are you to a woman? מה שמך? What's your name to a woman? Notice the ch sound. That's your sign that you're speaking to a female, a singular. And then now, just before we conclude, you go ahead and try. Try this after you're done watching the video. Ask the question to somebody, how are you? And then maybe have them ask you and then answer as if you're fine. Remember, Aniba said that. So, מה שלומך? מה שלומך? The next prompt, what's your name? Ask somebody their name. מה שמך? מה שמך? And then answer with your name. Shmi. Shmi. And then last prompt to practice, ask where somebody's from. And then have somebody ask you where you're from. And then answer where you're from. So, מאיפה אתה? מאיפה את? And then Animi Tel Aviv, Animi Yerushalayim. And then we've made it to the end. Kol hakavod. Next episode, we'll look at the cafe, learning how to order, say please and thank you. There should be a worksheet in the description, so feel free to use that and practice on your own. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe. Take care and have a good day.